Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Social Blueprint. And today, friends, we have a very special interview in honor of the upcoming Hagim. But before we get into it, we just want to say, here at the Social Blueprint, we are so much more than our interviews. We are a true online global directory. I believe we have over 500 different organizations now signed up. And not to mention, I believe we have the most comprehensive calendar in the Melbourne community. And now, let's talk about today. Well, friends, the Hagim, they are upon us. But one of the biggest questions is, how do we get into the spirit of things and get there quickly? Well, I have a suggestion. Music. That's right. Music, it transcends the heart, it transcends the mind, it transcends every culture. And with us today, we have one of the most recognizable voices in the entire Jewish world, from Tel Aviv to London to New York and here to Melbourne. Again, please welcome Dudu Fisher.
Hello, Melbourne. Hello, Australia. How are you doing there? I'm in sunny Netanya, and you are freezing probably there. Is the weather okay now?
It is not too bad. I'll never complain down here, Dudu, but yes, it is a little bit colder than there. Dudu,
yeah, I'm sure about it.
You were here last year as the lead Hazan at Melbourne Hebrew Congregation. You're coming back down again. This time you're also bringing your son with you. And you've been here many times before. Dudu, what about Melbourne is so special to you?
Well, first of all, I'm happy that they liked me last year, so I'm coming back this year. It's great to be recognized, and be appreciated. And I'm so happy to come back again to Toorak Synagogue. 180th birthday. This is amazing. This is really amazing. And thinking about it, this year I'm going to celebrate my 50th anniversary on the stages, stages of the synagogue and stages of the theaters. And I started in 1973, when a guy saw me in a wedding singing Sheheyano v'kiyemano v'higiyano lazman hazeh Sheheya, and then he came up to me and he says, "Hi, my name is Morris Hirsch," and I said, "I'm Dudu Fisher." He said, "Nice to meet you." He said, "Listen, I'm a president of a synagogue in Winnipeg, Canada. Winnipeg. This is really cold, Winnipeg, Canada. And I'd like you to come over for the high holidays to be our chazan." And I said, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. I don't do it. This is just, I'm doing it, not professionally. So what do you do?" He said. I said, "Well, I signed to dentistry, to take dentistry next year in Jerusalem." And he looked at me and he said, "Are you crazy? With your voice, you're going to smell stinking mouths of other people for the rest of your life." He said, "I'm offering you here a wonderful job, for the holidays." I said, "No, I'm not. It's not my thing, really. I really don't think I'm going to do it." He said, "I'll give you $5,000 and the ticket." I said, "I'm coming." And he actually changed my life. And it's 50 years now, from 73 to 23. And I'm celebrating my 50th anniversary, and I can't believe that so many years have passed by. But really, going back to your question, I'm so happy to be back there. I love the people. I think that the synagogue is the most beautiful synagogue that I've ever seen in the world. I'm traveling a lot, and I saw many synagogues, but this one is really, really unique. And forget about the synagogue, but the people. The people are so nice, and I love the rabbi. Rabbi Nathanson is a great guy. He has wonderful sermons, and I love to listen to him. And as you mentioned, it's a closing of a circle. My son, who is 7 years old now, decided that it's time to sing. So I'm gonna bring him in with me to sing a couple of pieces in the ceremony, in the davening, in the prayers. And actually, this is going to be his third time on stage, because we did one show in Italy already. I took him about a month ago. I'm doing a show tonight with him in Israel, in Tel Aviv, and he's singing with me. And the next time he's going to be singing with me will be in Toorak synagogue in Melbourne, Australia, and I'm so happy about it. Really, I'm quelling, as we say. I have so much nachas from this kid. I mean, he's amazing. He's an amazing kid.
Yeah, that is incredible, and we can't wait to hear it all. Hey, Dudu, I want to ask you something. You're not just a singer and you're not just an actor, you're an entertainer. There's something about you that is incredibly charismatic. But for us mere mortals, can you give us a little bit of a hint? How can we make ourselves a little bit more charismatic? We're all dying to know.
Well, I think you're born with it. I think I'm a good storyteller, and I'm an entertainer. I can be very funny on stage. Also in my shows, I'm very funny sometimes, and I don't think you can learn it. I think cantorial music or being a singer, you cannot learn how to be a singer. You have to be born to be a singer. You can learn to improve things, like to improve your acting, to improve your singing, to improve your stage personality. This you can learn. But I think that there's no doubt about it that you have to be born with a talent. And it doesn't matter which talent. It's like it's a definitely a born thing that without it, I doubt it if you can do it.
Right. And also, I think
And
that
of course,
speaking,
you have to have the fire burning inside of you and to believe in yourself, to say you're good enough, I'm good enough. It was like when I came to London in '86 and I saw for the first time Les Misérables, you know, and I
yeah,
saw Jean Valjean comes out and started singing, "What have I done, sweet Jesus? What have I done? Become a thief in the night, become a dog on the run, and have I fallen so far, and is the hour so late? Nothing remains but the cry of my hate, the cries in the dark that nobody hears. Here where I stand at the turning of the years." And I looked at Jean Valjean, Colm Wilkinson was Jean Valjean then, and I said to myself, Dudu, you can do it. And it was the first musical that I really wanted to be in it. And I said to myself, you can do it. I mean, why do you have to stick only to cantorial music, Yiddish music, and Hasidic music? You can do this. You can do this thing. And really, I was building it up, and I said to myself, I can do it. I can do it. And when I got back to Israel, and I said to my manager, this is what I want to do now. I don't want to do any shows around the world, no cantorial, no Yiddish, no Hasidic. I want to be Jean Valjean in Les Miserables. And
wow.
this is a thing, you know, and Les Miserables, of course, took me to places where I never believed I can do it. And now after so many years, I just played in a series. I don't know if you saw it, Diamonds,
Yes,
with Netflix.
Netflix.
So it takes me to another direction now. I mean, God is really shifting me from direction to direction. It's like first I was a cantor, then I became a singer, then I became an actor. Now I became a movie actor. So it's great. I love my life, and I live here, right here outside. You can see the sea, the Mediterranean Sea in Netanya, which is a beautiful place. And I really think if you want to buy something in Israel, and you should buy something in Israel, come to Netanya. This is really like feeling as you live in a resort, and it's beautiful here.
Yes.
And I mean, those who doesn't have the money to buy in Tel Aviv, of course, because Tel Aviv is 5, 6, 7, 10 times more than Netanya. But really, it's an amazing life that I have, and shifting from one talent, I mean, to another, gives me such great pleasure, and I love doing what I do. And I'm 72 years old now, and I'm so busy, and I'm loving so much my life right now. I think that I was never happier, and you know, from every impact. I'm really, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Wow. And I guess, leading on from that, you strike me as the kind of person, you're a life learner, you're always moving forward. Is that the way that you approach the world?
Yeah, I love meeting new people. I really love meeting new people, and I meet new people every time that I go overseas, you know, to a new place, or even to the same place where I've been already. And I don't mind traveling also. I mean, there are people that are getting very nauseous and not so happy to fly. I have no problem to fly, and I'm really I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything in my power to enjoy every moment of it. And I really like being on stage. Once somebody said to me, "How long you want to sing?" And I said, "I want to sing till I die. You just give me a mic, just give me a microphone and a stage, and I'm alive." And it's true. It's really true.
You know, what's incredible about that also is I know so many people that their biggest fear is stage fright, is speaking or, God forbid, singing in front of people. Obviously, you don't share that view.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm very nervous on the day. I'm not a nice person when on a day when I have to sing on stage or in the synagogue. I'm not a nice person. I don't want to travel. I don't want to go see places. I don't want to talk to people. I have to be by myself, think about the songs, think about the lead-ins that I'm talking about. I'm a very nice person in general. I mean, after the show, and also I'm very nervous how it's going to be the sound, how there's going to be the band, if the orchestra is going to be okay and everything. Once I'm on stage and I see that everything okay, that the sound is fine and the orchestra is good, then I have no problem. I'm really great. But on the day of the show, I'm very nervous till today, and I'm really, really not a nice guy to have a chat with him.
You know, it's incredible. And I've heard similar stories amongst professional athletes, anybody that's doing some type of performance, so that is certainly not unusual at all, Dudu. Taking a sharp turn for a second, obviously, Les Mis, you're certainly very, very, very well known for it. Can you just tell us that story about how it all came about, especially from the point of view of you're an observant Jew, you live though also in a secular world. How did it all come about? And just tell us about that.
Yeah, well, this is something that I really take a lot of pride in. I mean, I did the show in Israel. I got the part, not so easy also here to get the part was, but after the premiere, Cameron McIntosh, this world producer, came to Israel for the premiere, and he saw me on the show and he said to me, "Dudu, I'd like you to come on Broadway to take the part on Broadway." And I was so excited. I mean, really, I mean, it's the first show that I'm doing, and here I'm getting this offer to do Broadway. But I really don't know whether I take the chutzpah, where I took the chutzpah from. But I said to him, "Cameron, I'm sorry to tell you, but I don't think it's going to be possible." And he said, "Why not?" I said, "Well, I can't work Friday nights and Saturday matinees." He said to me, "Why not?" I said, "It's a long story. It's a long story." So he said to me, "Look, I really want you there. Let me see what I can do about it." And then just before he left the door, the room, I said to him, "Cameron, there's one more little problem. One more. I can also not work on Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Pesach, Shavuos, Tisha B'Av, Erev Tisha B'Av, Chanukah, Purim. I can't." He looks at me, he says, "Are you crazy? Go be a rabbi. What are you doing in show business?" In any case, so he went back to America, and he offered me the job. He offered me the role, but now I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing happened. I didn't get a phone call. I didn't get nothing, and I started to be, depressed. So my mother saw me getting depressed.
Right.
So she said to me, "Why don't you go get a bracha from the Lubavitcher Rebbe?"
Wow.
And I said, "Mom," I said, "Lubavitcher Rebbe about Broadway? What's going on with you?" I mean, people are coming to the Lubavitcher Rebbe with all kind of sicknesses and problems of parnusa, of making a living. And what am I going to talk to the rabbi about Broadway? She said, "Listen, this is the thing that bothers you most now. Go see the Lubavitcher Rebbe." And I'm a very nice boy, and I'm thinking, what am I going to talk about the Lubavitcher Rebbe about? How am I going to bring the subject up? So I called the office in 770, It was Rabbi Groner, that was his secretary, the rabbi's secretary. And I said, how can I see the Rebbe? I want to see him, in 4 eyes. And he said, well, the Rebbe doesn't feel so well now. But the only way to come and talk to the Rebbe will be if you are a godfather for a Russian baby who comes, because the Russians came, a lot of Russians came out then to America, and a lot of them came uncircumcised. So the Rebbe took it very serious, very serious. If you sponsor a bris of a baby, of a Russian baby, then he can see you right after the bris and talk to you. So I'm there in a dark house, and after a couple of minutes, the door opens and a big zlob comes in, like 2 meters high, and I'm looking for and I said, excuse me, where's the baby? Are you the father? You're the father? Where's the baby? The baby. He looks at me, he says, baby, me baby. I said to the rabbis there, listen, guys, there's no way I'm going to hold him while you're cutting him. There's no way I'm going to do it. I can die. I see blood. I will never make it. They said, don't worry, we're going to put a curtain. You're not going to see anything. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you something, his head was quite heavy too, So they did what they did. And he jumped off bed, after 5 minutes, and he said, let's go, Rebbe. So we went to the rabbi, and the rabbi gave him his brocha, and then I had to come. Now I prepared myself for weeks, to talk, and suddenly when I saw him, I forgot what I want to say. So the first question that came up to my mind, I said to him, Rebbe, do you know Les Misérables? And he looks at me, smiled, and he said, of course I know Les Misérables by Victor Hugo. But I forgot that this rabbi has I don't know how many people know, but he has about 8 or 9 doctorates from the Sorbonne in Paris. So he said to me, of course, and then he said to me, he asked me a question, do you know how many years took Victor Hugo to write the book? I said, I have no idea. I have no idea. Is any of the listeners, of the viewers, know how many years took Victor Hugo to write Les Misérables? Well, this is something that the Lubavitcher Rebbe taught me in person. He said to me, it took him 28 years.
Wow.
28 years to write the book, the novel. 28 years. So now I felt so great that he knows what I'm talking about. And I said to him, Rabbi, they want me to be Jean Valjean on Broadway, and because I told them that I don't sing on Friday night and Saturday matinees and all the other the Jewish holidays, they don't call me, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. He looks at me, smiled at me, and when the Lubavitcher Rebbe was looking at you, it was like going through your flesh, right to the heart. And
wow,
his blue eyes, his big blue eyes. I'll never forget. This was no doubt one of the great. I mean, I met the presidents and kings and queens. I think that the most unbelievable meeting was to meet the Lubavitcher Rebbe, really. And he said to me, he took my hand. He said, "Listen," and he started talking to me in Yiddish. He said, "Halt sich stark mit Yiddishkeit, and alt wird sein gut." He said to me, "Hold your Jewishness strongly. Don't be shy to say." Okay, maybe I will do Friday night. He said, hold it strongly. Don't be shy to say that you don't work Friday nights, and everything will be okay. To make a long story short, I got the part after a week after I met the rabbi. After a week, I received a call from Cameron McIntosh telling me to come over to start rehearsing for the show.
Wow.
And the fact is that a lead role till then never happened before, that he was excused, and from then never happened again. I mean, I did all kinds of shows without Friday night, but not on Broadway. It never happened on Broadway.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's incredible. And I believe that you had it contractually in your contract too. Is that correct?
Yeah, of course. It said Dudu Fisher, and Dudu Fisher will not work on Friday nights and Saturday matinees. That was written in the book.
Wow. That's an incredible story. Dudu, you are truly a global person. You have lived all over the world, I believe. Can you, from, I believe it's even in Missouri, is that correct?
Yeah, in Missouri, I had a special project. Somebody told me go see Missouri. There's Branson. There's a little town named Branson. I did a show. It was in Chicago, and some like a priest came over to me after the show and said to me, "You should be in Branson, Missouri." And I said, who's Branson? What's Miss Branson? I never heard the name of it. So I took a flight. I went to see Branson, and Branson is a place where evangelical Christians are coming to spend their time. They don't want to take their kids to Las Vegas where they can see things that they don't want them to see. So they
Right.
created for themselves, they created this town it's a very little town, by the way. I mean, but it has over 100 theaters. They say that Branson has more theater seats than Broadway.
Wow.
And they have all kind of shows there. So I said to myself, well, maybe I should bring a show here, and I created a show by the name Jerusalem, and I did it there. It was amazing. I came there every year for 5 years for 2 months, November and December. I was there, and I did the show there, and it was incredible. I mean, it was really great. The thing was that even if the prices there are so low, because they see that the prices will stay low, they wouldn't let you get up the price. So even if when the theater was full, I felt that I'm not making enough money. So I stopped it, and after 5 years, I learned my lesson, and I left there. But I loved the people were great, really. The lovers of Israel. They used to come to the shows with flags, and it was Israeli flags, of course.
Yeah.
And it was really beautiful experience. Yeah, beautiful experience.
Yeah. And talking about experiences, as I said, you've lived all over the world. How have those experiences shaped you as a human being?
Well, I think that you learn how to accept other people. You learn how to understand other cultures. You learn new sorts of music that you never heard before, and some of them I like really, and I put them in my shows. And I was in Thailand. The king of Thailand, may he rest in peace. He was a saxophone player,
Wow.
and I did a show with him once in the palace, in the Thai palace in Thailand, and he was playing with me, and I had to learn a Thai song, which of course, I forgot it already, but that's what I did. So sometimes it gives you challenges when you go to new places and you meet new people and important people.
Right.
You learn to do things that you never thought you're gonna do. And I love the challenges, and I love to do new stuff, new things, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. Incredible. And new things, that's what obviously keeps you young. Hey, Dudu, you're coming down here, you're starting out. Where can people find you in the next couple of weeks here?
Well, I'm arriving on the 12th of September, and we will be rehearsing because I have a wonderful choir there by Aaron Max conducting the choir, and we will rehearse from Tuesday to Friday. Friday night, of course, we're going to be in Toorak, and as well Saturday morning, Toorak, and Sunday morning also Toorak, this time with the shofar blowing, because on Shabbat we don't blow the shofar. So Saturday will not be a blowing of the shofar. And my son will join me, and I'm going to stay in Melbourne and enjoy myself. It's hard work. I'm going to work very hard, and I'll need my rest afterwards. But I'm very, very excited to be coming there. I mean, Toorak is a wonderful place. As I said, all the people there. I mean, the president of the shul, Quentin Miller, and there's a lot of. I don't want to say any more names because I'm afraid I'm going to forget some of them. So however, there's a very amazing thing. One of the members of the. I mean, I think he's also like a chairman or a president, and I his son is serving in the Israeli army.
Wow.
And I last year, I was crying when he came up to the bima and did the Misérables for the soldiers.
Yeah.
It was an incredible moment, really an incredible moment. And I know his kid, his son, and I really wish him all the best. They should go in peace and come back in peace to his loving family and friends.
Yeah. One thing you realize, I suppose, is traveling the world is that we are truly a family no matter where we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey,
Absolutely.
Dudu, we have to keep it short. In closing, one quick question for you for the upcoming Hagim. It can be very easy to get what I call shuled out very early on, spending 8, 9, 10 hours a day. Do you have any suggestions for us on how to pace ourselves?
For what? For the fasting? You mean fasting
For all the
or just for
Hagim.
the? Listen, I think that we're having such a wonderful service. You don't feel the time pass by, really, because we're doing a very, I mean, cantorial music changed a lot, Once cantorial music was a very serious, pieces like classical and with a big choir, and the public was supposed to be quiet. If somebody would try to sing with the choir, everybody will go, we want to listen to the chazan and to the choir. Not anymore. And that's why they say that Karlibach, may rest in peace, Shlomo Karlibach, Rabbi Karlibach, they said that he killed the cantorial music, he killed the chazones. Why? Because he brought in the communal singing, dancing, clapping, and that's what we do in Toorak. In Toorak, we sing together. Everybody sings together. I bring music from every place. I bring Israeli music into the service. I bring Broadway stuff into the service. I brought Hasidic music into the service, and all we do is daven in fun, not in fear and Shrek. We're really having fun there. So we sing together, we clap together, we dance together, and I think people do not feel really how the time flies. And of course, they have a wonderful kiddush afterwards. So, guys, we're gonna have a drink and eat some herrings and salmon. Who doesn't want to do this?
Excellent. Well, Dudu, we can't wait to see you. You'll be there at Toorak Shule, Melbourne Hebrew Congregation. Dudu, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and see you very, very soon. Everybody have a sweet, new, healthy New Year.
Bye-bye.